I can't tell you how excited I am for this video. I've been waiting for quite a while on this one, and finally, the new version of Prism Live Studio is out in the wild, ready for prime time. So today, we're gonna check it out. Now, if you aren't familiar with Prism Live Studio, it is an alternative to OBS that has pretty much all the same features and a lot more. Now, if you already have a Prism, it's going to prompt you to update it, and all you have to do is pretty much follow the prompts. If you have never had Prism installed and you're new, first, what have you been waiting for? But seriously, there is a link in the description down below so you can check it out. Let's get it installed. So here is the page where you're going to get the new Prism if you don't already have it installed, and we're going to go ahead and use Windows. Now the Mac one is going to be available very soon, by the end of July, so keep your eye out. We're going to go ahead and download this, and we're going to download the Prism Cam, which is now called the Prism Lens. So got those two puppies downloading. Alright, so we have both of them downloaded. Let's start with Prism Live Studio. You just double click and you're going to get this, which is just administrative prompts, which is why the screen is black. It won't show it. You just click yes. Then what we're going to do is select our language, which is English, and click. Yep, that's as much of the install as it actually recorded. So after that, it bumps through a very quick install, and then it asks you to sign in to your Google account or your Twitch account or whatever, and you're just gonna do that because it's the ease of connecting everything up. Once you do that, well, then you're in. It's very simple. There's not a lot to it. I'm sorry it didn't actually record, but it's really not that hard. Now, I know for anyone who's been using Prism Live Studio, it looks pretty much the same. Well, why would you change up something that's already so easy to use with so many amazing features? But don't be disappointed, because this update wasn't about a flashy UI. It's all about the performance. See, most of the complaints about Prism Live Studio were performance related, and they listened to you. This is a totally redesigned back end to address all of those performance issues, with some quality of life updates thrown on top. So let me walk you through the setup and the things that I do to configure it right out of the box. Then I'm gonna cover the features and the updates. And here we go, it's up and ready to go. And you can now dock your chat, which is absolutely fantastic. And we're gonna turn that off, and we'll go ahead and close this out. And on your initial setup, there are a couple of things that you're definitely gonna wanna change. So we're gonna go over here to this little gear down in the bottom right, and we're gonna go to our video. We're going to match these up, so our output and our base canvas are the same. I'm gonna go with 30 frames per second. You can go with 60 or whatever you want. It's perfectly fine. Then we're gonna go to general, and we're gonna go to the bottom here, and we're gonna go to display method, and we're gonna drop this down, and we're gonna select text, and we're gonna apply that. And that's gonna make this text right here. We're gonna go to output and set this up right here, advanced, and we're gonna select YouTube as our service. So let's apply this real quick. Go okay, and we'll click the plus here, and we'll sign in with YouTube as our service. So now we can see it up here at the top, and we'll go back in here and we'll set up our output. So we've got YouTube, and we want the advanced output settings. We're gonna select our NVIDIA if we have one, otherwise X264 is fine. We do not want to rescale our output, and CBR is perfectly fine. A lot of people like the CQP. I always liked CBR. It feels like it works the best for me. I'm gonna go with 6,000 kilobits per second, 1 second, good quality, high quality. I'm gonna go ahead and just show you what your options are here. So all of these will change the quality of your footage, but it will also take longer to process. So if you go slower or slowest, you can get the best quality. If you have an NVIDIA card, you might be able to get away with that. If you do not, Either way, good quality is actually good quality. So you can stick with the standard settings and know that you're going to get a pretty decent stream. And all of these are the settings that you're going to want to use. As far as audio goes, I don't like to have default in here. So I'm going to go and just disable these. I'm going to add the audio inputs that I want on each scene, and we'll apply that. We already touched on video. You can set hotkeys. Accessibility can just change some of the colors. And if we go into advanced, if you are finding that your machine is not processing your stuff fast enough, you can change your process priority right here to above, normal, or high. It will prioritize Prism. You've got your renderer right here and your color format. BGRA is really nice if you wanted to use that as your color format, because it means if you're using this as a virtual camera in another application, it will just automatically see the alpha, which is the A in there. And that means you won't have to put a green screen behind it. It will just automatically come through as an alpha. You don't really need to change any of this stuff. If it looks good to you, it should be fine. You can set up your replay buffer. You can set up for a stream delay if you would like. Automatically reconnect. You definitely want to have that checked. A little bit about your network, which I never touched. There's no reason to. And that's pretty much it. That's all we mess around with in the settings here, and we are all set up. Next, let's take a look at this little hamburger menu up here in the top right. You've got your settings, just allows you to get into the settings and some different stuff here. You can literally learn about just about anything here in the help section with FAQs in the blog. You can actually interact with the Prism developers in Discord or contact them. It is really, really easy to use. Then you have your scene collections. Just like in OBS, you can save different streams or different collections that you're testing for any of your live streams. Edit source. This is where you have some transform and that sort of stuff, and you can get into advanced audio properties from here. Then we have our view where we can reset the UI. We can use the full screen interface. You know, here's your source toolbar and your source icons, which is this stuff right here. We can bring up our stats window, which is this window right here. You can also bring that up down here. We could turn studio mode on, which is where we had at the beginning with the two screens. Some people love it. It's not my bag. And we can also use multi-view. Then we have docks, and this is a beautiful thing that's been added to Prism Live Studio in the newest version. We have our scenes and our sources down here already. We have our audio mixer. We can actually add the chat in as a browser dock, but we can also add in our own custom browser docks if we want. So if we go to docks, we can add a custom browser dock. So if we're using Social Stream Ninja or something like that, we can add the dock in. We can dock it over here, which will give us the ability to add selected chat and things like that. If you haven't seen that video yet, it is in my library, so you're welcome to check it out. Then we have our profile. This is the same as the scene collection. It's just a profile collection, so you can add a lot of different settings profiles. And that's what the profile deals with. It is this little settings tab down here. You can have different ones for different streams. So maybe you stream to Twitch sometimes, you stream to YouTube others. Well, you can set up a new profile for each of those. Next, we have tools, and it has access to the automatic scene switcher and output timer, and of course, all the scripts that you're used to in OBS. If you wanted to add your own timers or anything like that, you can easily use those sorts of plugins right from OBS. Then we have our virtual camera. You can start it up or you can configure the virtual camera. There's a couple of settings in there. Then we have the Prism Lab, and this is the experimental stuff that Prism has going on. So remote message, pretty cool stuff. And sometimes there's a whole bunch listed over here. Sometimes there isn't. You can enable or disable them right here if you want to kind of test features that they're working their way through the system, which I love the fact that they actually give you access to that. Then you can log out if you wanted to log out from this and exit Prism altogether. That's pretty much the hamburger menu. All of this stuff is very similar to how it looks in OBS, which makes perfect sense since the bones of Prism Live Studio are in OBS. But it gives you access to so much more. Over here on the right, that'll activate studio mode. This will activate your chat. Very, very cool. You can add chat sources as well. So currently we are accessing our YouTube chat, but you can add other ones right here if you wanted to. And then you've got this little exclamation point here, which will be for your alerts and that sort of stuff. This right here is the virtual camera. Very cool. This is Prism Lens. We don't actually have it installed yet, so let's go ahead and install our Prism Lens. And all you have to do is go ahead and select the language, click install, and then click start. And here is Prism Lens. So you can actually use Prism Lens in all kinds of other applications if you wanted to. And it gives you access to beauty effects, which will change the shape of your face, that sort of stuff. Prism mobile linkage, so you can link up your mobile phone, use the mobile phone camera, or actually just give it the physical view of the phone screen. You can see right here it has a little informational walkthrough on exactly how to set it up. Very simple. Right here you have your color correction, so you can actually color correct your images, and you have color filters as well, so you can add Instagram style color filters to your camera, and you can set up multiple different lenses right here for different cameras and that sort of stuff. So very, very cool. Well, let's take a look at the settings for Prism Lens right here. And it just has output settings, what's it going to output for each lens, the quality settings, so you can go with high or maximum, and you can take screenshots. Very, very cool. You can remove your background and all that sort of stuff using Prism Lens as well. Here you can use free backgrounds. If you remove your background, they're right in here. And then on this one you can add your own background, bring it up, and you have your recent saved right here. You can also use any of the video backgrounds that they have. These are just awesome. I absolutely love them. And you have access to all this directly in OBS. So let's go ahead and end the Prism Lens. Start the Prism Lens, and this would be how you would get it to work in other applications if you wanted to use the Prism Lens in OBS or something like that. And you can modify your camera device properties right here by what type of camera you're using, the video format, all that kind of stuff. Very, very cool. And we're going to go back to the original, and we're going to go ahead and close out of our Prism Lens. But now we can open it just by clicking on this button right here, and it opens up our Prism Lens. So that's very, very cool. We can also use this right here, which allows us to draw on the screen. And we can change colors, we can use arrows, all kinds of amazing things that you can do with this. You can change the size. So this is absolutely fantastic for, you know, annotating or notating your stream or your screen. Right here we have stickers, but we can grab these stickers and place them wherever we want on our screen. We'll turn that off. And then when we turn that off, now you can see we have access to our sticker where we can place it wherever we want. Remove it right down here, right clicking and going to delete. So boom and boom. So there we go. Here below we have a Giphy sticker as well. This is where you can add animated stickers. So you just click on them, put them wherever you want. You can move them around, all that fun stuff. Turn it off right here. You can go to recently used. Very simple to use to add these to your live streams. We're gonna go ahead and delete that as well. It also has a musical playlist feature where you can add music and play it in any order that you want. Very, very cool. And then this is the Prism mobile app. You can use your phone to connect up to show your phone screen or even use the camera. So all that stuff is built right into Prism Live Studio. Right down here, if you don't want to set everything up, you can easily just select the platform that you want to stream to and click apply now, and it will set up all of your settings so you never have to touch this little dial at all if that's what you want to do. And I can promise you that just by selecting any one of these settings, it's going to work. It's going to give you pretty good quality. So that's all of the basic UI features that you see out here. Let's build a couple of quick scenes so I can show you how this works and all of the amazing features that you can use in sources that are just awesome. So we have scene 1 here. We're going to go ahead and just click the plus, and we can use a video capture device. You can add audio. You can use audio output capture, which will give you the ability to select the exact audio source that you want instead of using just a generic capture source. You have game capture, display capture, and of course you can capture part of a display, which I think is absolutely fantastic. Window capture is going to capture a specific window. So if you want a specific window of Chrome, or maybe you're doing a tutorial on how to edit something, it will capture your editing software. Then you have browser sources, which you're going to use for alerts and all kinds of other things. Media source for loading videos, image for loading images. You can create an image slideshow that will scroll through multiple images. Then you've got your color source, which is very simple. It's just a box background that can be placed in the back, and you select the color, and then you can adjust the size, width, and height and all that sort of stuff. And then you can add a scene. So if you're using nested scenes, you can add those nested scenes, and you can group things together as well. Over here are all the things that are exclusive to Prism. So you've got your text template, which has just amazing text features, Prism chat, and it gives you a little bit of information on what it brings over here. This means you can put your chat physically on your screen. The text template allows you to add lower thirds and animated text all over the place. Viewer count widget allows you to add a viewer count right to your screen. And then you have your Prism sticker and your Giphy stickers. Those are the same things that are over here on the right. Your music playlist, same thing. Audio visualizer, very cool. It will allow you to add accents to your live stream that will move with your audio. Then you have background templates, which allow you to apply backgrounds to everything. And then you have your clock widget. And you'll notice that used to be your Prism camera was in here, but now it is located over here. It's now called lens. So if we wanted to add a Prism camera to our stream, we can basically just open it up, and there we go. And we can remove the background, and we can set this up like that. And then we can go in here and go to video capture device, and it will automatically detect our Prism lens. But of course we can select any of the lenses that we have, or I can even go back and select the original camera. So we can go with Prism Lens 1, which is using all of the stuff with their background removal and everything else. I'm sitting too close to the camera, which is why it's blurry, so let's move back a little bit. There we go. We can deactivate all of the stuff, make it active, configure the video, everything that you might want to do. So this just gives you access to all kinds of different accents when you use Prism camera, and it puts it in a different thing. But it also allows you to use this Prism camera in any other application. So if you wanted to use it in OBS, you can definitely do that. And I'm sure I'm going to do a video on how that's going to work later on. You can also change it up so that you can have whatever resolution that you want on your cameras as well. So that's how you're going to integrate the Prism camera into your live streams. And we can just click OK. And now we have a camera on our live stream. We're going to click the plus, and we're going to go ahead and add a Prism chat. Very, very cool. You can select the style of the chat that you want right over here. We can change the font size up, all that sort of stuff. And then when you click OK, it's going to bring the chat over here. And since we aren't connected, it doesn't really look like much, obviously, but the chat will be going when we are actually on a stream and there's chat happening. And then we're going to go in here and we're going to go ahead and use a text template. Let me show you how these work quickly. And this has so many options, it's just going to blow your mind. So this is just simple titles. You can select any one of these. and they are infinitely modifiable by going into detailed settings. You can change your font size, the size of the actual text box, the alignment of the text, all the colors. Everything is modifiable on all of these templates. Screensavers are just that. You can put a screensaver up, change it. So this would be like coming soon or on a break, something like that. Really easy to set up and put text in there. Needless to say, text is editable, and you can change a lot of the settings as well. You got your social stuff, so you could put your YouTube login or your Facebook or your Instagram, anything like that that you want to post on your stream. And of course, you can change the settings on these as well. Then you've got captions, which are basically like lower thirds. All of these are modifiable, and you can change the settings as well. And you've got stickers, which can appear on your screen, and you can change the text for these as well. So let's go with the caption right here. We'll go with a standard lower third. We'll go into detailed settings, and we're going to change up the script here. Let's go with Arial Black, and regular is fine. You can change the motion settings as well right here, and all you have to do is go up here to change the text and click OK, and then we can just move this wherever we want. We can make it bigger or smaller. Very, very cool. So we might want to go in here and go to properties and slow it down just a little bit. And you can actually turn the motion off as well. I really do love a lot of these features. Let's go ahead and see. So we've got our stickers, our audio visualizer. Let's mess around with this a little bit. So basically you can select the video capture device that you want to use. And since I don't have my audio set up in here, as you can see, we're not getting any. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to go to our video capture device and properties. And we're going to go scroll down to the bottom here. We're going to use a custom audio device, and I'm going to select my microphone and click OK. And there we go. So now when we go into our audio visualizer, we're getting some actual feedback. And you can select the type of visualizer that you would like right here. Very cool. And then you can go into filters and add effects to this as well. So when you look here, you can apply a LUT or, change the colors up. All kinds of very, very cool stuff. You can even add scroll to it, which I think is really cool. So let's do that. Let's add scroll to our bar. And we're going to go ahead and embiggen this, because why wouldn't we? And we're going to bring it down here. Let's move this a little bit, get it off the screen, and we'll shrink it. And there we go. It's probably scrolling just a little bit too fast, but that's all right. We'll move this down. I think what I want to do is just if we right click on anything, you can see we have access to another menu. We're going to transform this, and we're going to flip it vertically, and there we go. So now we can put it at the top of our screen, which is nice. And I'm going to double click here and bring this out again, and I'm going to change it up. We're going to go with something like that. I think that'll work. Just have to bring it into view, and like I said, we can change up the colors. We can do whatever we want. We can have this situated in any way that we want, and we can go into detailed settings on each of these, change the colors, change the width. We can mirror the graph, so it'll be mirrored like that on both sides. You can kind of see how epically cool this can be. All this stuff is built in to Prism Live Studio totally free. And if you're looking down here at your CPU, well, it's using almost no CPU. They accomplished what they set out to accomplish by fixing the performance problems. And I'm really excited. They added some features like the ability to dock your chat and the ability to add your own custom browser docks. There is so much cool stuff, and I really want you guys to let me know what you want to see more of, and if you want to see me do videos on Prism Live Studio that really push the envelope and take some of these features to the next level. Because I just showed you really simply what is possible. And look at the quality of this background removal. It's absolutely stunning what Prism has been able to accomplish. I'm really excited about it. Now, when you use this, I want to hear about your experience with it. So let me know in the comments, and the Prism folks are watching because they want your feedback too. And if you want to see how you can create an awesome PNG tuber for your live streams, you should definitely check this video out. And I want to say a big thanks to Prism Live Studio for sponsoring this video. I couldn't possibly do any of this without them or you, so thanks. And if you're always looking for tools, tips, and tricks to help make you a better live streamer or YouTuber, subscribe to the channel. My name is Michael Fire Jr. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.